Hi everybody. Wow, it's been about quite a while since I've made a vlog or anything. I guess the last one I made was after court the other night. And I thought a few times about getting on and making a vlog, but I really have been struggling emotionally with this ordeal that I went through. I don't know what the problem is, but, well, I do know what the problem is that I saw what happened, and it is lodged firmly in my brain. And I am having real problems processing that information. And I'm not only am I missing the hell out of my little dog, but every time I shut my eyes to go to sleep, or every time I think about him, I think about that last little lick on the nose that he gave me when I was leaving him at the vet, and and I see it over and over. I don't know, a million times I've seen it in my head, and having a very, very hard time with that. Very hard time. Um, I, at one time, was an EMT. That was my job for a while. And when I moved here, I was volunteer EMS. And living in a small community, you end up seeing people that, a lot of people that you know, hurt and in bad situations. And it's very difficult. And it's something that I think people take for granted, but you know, you think, oh well, she's a fireman, or he's a fireman or ambulance driver, whatever, and what a great job. But the fact of the matter is that it is a lot of trauma to try to process. And after quite a few years, I ended up leaving that profession because I could not process anymore. And it messed me up with driving, made driving very difficult for me because I saw people in terrible car accidents and people that I knew in terrible car accidents. I've just seen too much. That's it. And as a result of that, I have PTSD, and I've had it for many years. And this has definitely been a real difficult situation for me to work through. I have not worked through it. I am trying, but it is very difficult, and I really am considering seeing a doctor about it because it is not going away. I'm enjoying the little dogs very much. I think I may have made a mistake when I got two, but because they want to spend time together, they are getting more and more attached to my husband and myself, but they are very attached to each other, obviously, and they don't sleep with us. They're not the companion dog that I had, and they're probably not going to be. You know, that's probably the truth of it. I'd love to show them to you, but they're asleep right now on the bed right here. Maybe they'll wake up in a minute and I can show them to you. But anyway, that's the deal with that. So my husband's gone, so I'm smoking now. Terrible. Haven't, you know, that threw me for such a loop that I have not gotten anything accomplished. I mean, all I have done is just try to get day by day to get through that ordeal. And it's been like losing a child or a good friend. It's been extremely difficult. But you know, like I said, so I'm not getting a whole lot done. I am feeling a lot better today. I have been putting myself through some very intensive sleep hypnosis that lasts 2 to 3 hours, at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. If I lay down to take a nap, I also do it during my nap, and it does seem to be helping me on some subconscious level. It is helping. But that's about all that I've been able to do to try to work through it. And, you know, it's just going to take time. But anyway, so I haven't been working. I have not been making anything. I did, though, last weekend. The day that Taco passed away, actually, I got busy and got some. I had been to Walmart when I went down there So I got some of those little peat moss things that you get wet and you put the seeds in, seeds starting little, and they swell up. They get about this big, and you put the little seed in there. And I did get quite a few of those started. I have turnips, radishes, basil, um, parsley, Shasta daisies, morning glories, nasturtiums, some squash, a few other things. So I have actually got a good start on my little garden. And it's not going to be a little garden this year. It's going to be freaking awesome and huge. And hopefully I'm going to be able to sell a lot of it this year and at the farmer's market and make some money off of it. My husband said, oh, it's not worth it. I said, well, it would have been worth it if you would have got out there and processed your own garden. It would have been worth it. But as you all know, he started it, loved planting it, loved watering it, did not want to tend to it. And so I got stuck doing that. But by the time I got started on it, it was such a huge job. And sadly, a lot of it went to waste. Where we could have made some good little money off of the garden last year. So hopefully this year the apples will bloom. Keep your fingers crossed. They should be popping out any time now. And since we're supposed to have an early spring, which I had already predicted, as you might remember, I hope that the apples and the plums will come again. And so I got busy with that. The other thing that, I wanted to tell you about two documentaries that I watched this week. One was called Miss Navajo, and another one is called Monica and David. Miss Navajo was a very interesting documentary. I enjoyed it. I wish it had been longer than it was only 59 minutes. I don't know why they make movies like 59 minutes, when they have miles and miles of material, but it was very interesting. You can watch both of them on Netflix. Miss Navajo was about the Miss Navajo pageant, which is a beauty pageant, but it also, they're not only judged on beauty and talent, but they're judged on things that are strictly cultural for them. And it was filmed up in the Four Corners area, where I was born and where I was raised until I was 11 years old. We did not move to the city until I was 11. And up until then, we lived up in the Four Corners area of New Mexico. And it is a big Navajo area. A lot of Navajo live there, and a lot of Navajo live where I live here as well. And our school is actually trilingual. We speak Navajo, Spanish, and English in our schools. So, anyway, big population. So I really enjoyed that because it was from a lot of filming around where I was from. It really shows the rugged terrain that people expect to see from New Mexico. When I tell people I live in the mountains, they say, well, I thought you lived in the desert. Well, I do. I live in the high desert of New Mexico in the mountains. But some of New Mexico is flat and rugged and dry and rough living, and that is the Four Corners area is like that. So anyway, very fascinating, and a good look at their culture. And what I was saying was that part of their pageant also has to do with some things that are very much about their culture. One is their ability to speak their language, which is a very, very difficult language, and it has been lost over the years. And I know that the Navajo Nation is really struggling to teach their children Navajo and to try to hold on to it, because it is a very difficult language, and once it's gone, it's going to be gone. And, and it would be a terrible loss if they let that go. And the other part of the pageant is also based on their ability to provide food for their family. And a big ritual in the Navajo community is a ritual that it has to do with a young woman's ability to slaughter and butcher a sheep. Navajo, really, sheep have, that is their mainstay of their meat, and to be able to butcher and slaughter is very important. They're a matriarchal society, and they hold their women in very high reverence, and part of the rite of passage of becoming a woman is the ability to be able to slaughter an animal, to slaughter a sheep and be able to feed your family. So anyway, very interesting. And the other, oh, well, you know what? I want to come back and do another one because I'm at 10 minutes now, but might want to check that one out. Miss Navajo, it's called, and you can find that one on Netflix. And I hope you will watch it, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's just another look at women, in a different culture, but here in our country that sometimes people kind of don't think much about. And really lovely people, a beautiful culture, and a really great little documentary. I just wish it was longer. So, anyway, I'll come back and tell you about Monica and David. All right, have a blessed day. Bye-bye.